everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait!
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who's first? Oh, Monica first, because we're on our route. I should probably start with Monica. She and I still need to build trust, and earlier she seemed eager to read my poem.
Hi, Allie. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, I know I don't have to tell you this, but since you're here, if you do ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, especially since we don't know how long, well, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? I never really got much feedback from, well, you know.
Yeah. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I'm not really sure what I would change, but I suppose at this point anything could happen.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
I'm a little nervous, but I guess so.
Don't worry, Allie. We're all a little nervous today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. He wrote a poem. Echoes. Somber thoughts run through my head about the life to which this led. Breathing new life to what was said, and all I hear are echoes. Of all the paths I dared not tread, of long-lost love and books I read, I bemoan these thoughts while in my bed, since all I hear are echoes. If this or that were true instead, if only I stayed or begged or pled, if darkness weren't mist inside my head, but all I hear are echoes. I hear the whispers I dread, of demons past from which I fled. They talk of times I've cried and bled. Not all I hear are echoes.
This is...
Monica takes a few moments to compose herself.
Well, this is definitely a surprise, Allie.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't mean anything negative by that. I just meant that I wasn't sure how much experience you had previously with writing poetry. But that, along with the fact that I never got to see what the original main character actually wrote.
She more or less whispers the last part so the others couldn't overhear.
I just wasn't sure what to expect, is all.
Ah, I see.
But it's good. I really like it.
You do?
Yeah, I like the variation of the violette scheme, or maybe it's the Rouvant.
I'm sorry, the what and the what? What? Monica giggles.
Oh, sorry, I had a lot of time on my hands previously, so I have read a lot on poetry. Basically, a violette or Rouvant's rhyming scheme is one that is comprised of 3 to 4 lines, with the first few having the same rhyme, and the last in the stanza linking the others. Another way to visualize it is using these letters AAAB, BBBB, CCCB, etc. Though I think typically the last line in each stanza is a different rhyme, but instead you chose to vary the first part of the line, which is interesting. It shows that the echoes you thought were a sign of emptiness or isolation were not. In fact, the only thing with you, your best demons were with you all along. Something I can relate to.
Ah, yeah. Although I wasn't aware of what it was called, that is basically what I was going for. It reminds me of how much my past mistakes and regrets linger with me. Monica nods.
It's very good. If I had any advice to give you, it would be this. Don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone. It's nice when poetry follows a common rhyming scheme, but many people don't realize you don't have to rhyme for it to be poetry. What matters is the pacing and flow. If your poem evokes a visual imagery or emotions, and it flows one into the next without feeling too disjointed, that can be just as effective as conveying emotion. And poetry is really about conveying the author's emotions to the reader.
Duly noted. That's not how you would say it would be duly. D-U-E-L-Y. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things out. It could take a while before I go or feel comfortable doing this, at least in front of others.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything.
I laugh somewhat sarcastically and anxiously.
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then. It's a light in the wall. Looks like they changed it a little bit then. Okay.
A plain white room, no color or objects that adorned it, barren and devoid of personality. Trapped in an artificial room, with an artificial light from a single bulb above, save for a hole in the wall. I once peered inside looking for answers. What I saw was frightening, a world of possibility out of my reach. All I could do was watch. I pounded against the wall, desperately hoping someone could hear me, hoping someone could see me, hoping someone could save me. Suffocating from the stale air, I sustained myself by breathing what air I could, coming from through the hole. My life slowly losing color. Was this the end? Was there really no happiness left to be found? Suddenly, the wall around the hole begins to crumble. Bigger and bigger, the hole grows as light pours in. A hand reaches from the other side. I hesitated first, then take it in my own. It's warm, warmer than everything else in this cold, dreary room. It pulls me through the newly formed opening, my eyes adjusting to the bright light. No longer was I alone looking out. Together, we were looking forward. So, what do you think?
Oh wow, it's different than your original one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks to still be a bit freeform, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it isn't so much because of the script, but rather I just really enjoy writing in that style, you know. These types of poems put a lot of emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, they can be really powerful.
I know it's somewhat obvious, at least I think, but was the inspiration behind this related to recent events? Monica looks a little embarrassed.
I guess you could say that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because this is still kind of new to me.
Isn't that what you said before?
True, but this time I mean it for other reasons. Anyway, although we don't necessarily have to follow everything in the script, I'd still like to offer a writing tip of the day.
Oh, by all means. Monica giggles.
Always carry a pen or pencil and a notebook with you. Or if you prefer, always keep your note-taking app handy on your phone. You never know when inspiration will strike or you get an idea and just need to write it down. Especially at night if you're lying in bed or wake up from a particularly inspiring dream that makes you want to write about it. Don't worry about getting every little detail, just write down the main points or general idea. You can always go back later and expand on it. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening, Allie.
I let out a small chuckle. My pleasure. Alright, who's next? I'm gonna choose my favorite. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. So...
Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
I mean, sort of, I guess, at least for others to read.
Oh, I see. I guessed that it might be after reading through it.
So it's that bad.
No. Did I just raise my voice? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. Yuri, it's fine, honestly, I don't think anyone noticed. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from their topic matter, and they form for the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the book gives you valuable feedback. Not thinking you may be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
But, well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to yourself, to me, or not to you. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Is it Ghost Under the Light? It is. I'm gonna read it.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read cursive very often. I actually think your handwriting is very pretty.
That's a relief, and thank you.
Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Ah, that's right, you're into horror and such, correct? I assume you typically write things with darker themes or elements.
That's correct, Holly. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, the subject of the poem is something being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in our last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's very poetic. Sorry, there's probably a better way to say that. Still, though, that's definitely impressive. Way better than mine, in fact.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. Yuri nods as Jenny gently hand back her poem. Maybe my future poems will be more suited to her tastes. Alright, okay.
Wow, Holly, your poem is really bad.
Sorry, it's so harsh.
It's fine. It's your first time. Besides, I'm just really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Tell me about it. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'd break my promise.
See, it's like I said before, Holly. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I'm not sure I do either. I still haven't really figured out what I'm going to do about Mr. X or what his real motive is yet. I can't deny, though, that being here in this club is part of the reason why I went along with his request. You know, aside from the whole brain death thing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Heh, very well, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
I have a feeling you're better than you give yourself credit for. It's Dear Sunshine. Ah, breakfast sounds good.
Right? But wait, is there only a good for that?
No, I just wanted to comment on it. I'm guessing you probably wrote this sometime this morning.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
No, I meant I wrote some of mine this morning as well. Sierra looks a bit surprised to hear me say this. I'm guessing she expected me to be the responsible one.
You did? How come?
You're seriously going to question me for doing the same thing you did?
Fair point.
Besides, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem either. It came out really nice, short, and to the point, just like you.
Really? Hey, wait a minute. Are you calling me short?
Not compared to Natsuki anyway.
It's not really saying much.
Ah, I'll be sure to tell her you said that.
Hey, you meanie.
Sorry, I'm just joking around. But I really am craving some breakfast food now. Pancakes and sausage would taste amazing right about now.
This morning I made eggs and toast.
And thus you were running late for school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
I do too, though that's just me in general. I'm not much of a morning person.
Me neither.
Anyway, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Ah, yeah.
But next time I won't wait until the last minute. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
I definitely look forward to it. Alright,
Hallie, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home.
What? Harsh.
What, you expect me to believe you? Or they actually put effort into this?
Okay, so we got a negative reaction out of Sayori and Natsuki, and I guess we kind of did out of Yuri too, but she doesn't really show it. I can't help but wonder if Monica's words don't actually have any points for these guys.
Do you think I'm stupid?
Hey, that's not fair. I never claimed to be good at this. And maybe it's not very good, but I did put in effort. Well, we all start somewhere, right? I know Natsuki isn't supposed to like my poem if I didn't write it about something she'd like, but still, I guess I have a lot to learn about how to receive critical feedback. I'm sure you weren't the best when you first started either, you know.
Sorry.
It's alright. I know it's not the greatest. I'm still learning after all.
It's fine. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again.
I mean, I guess.
Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid.
You don't know me well enough to know that, and I doubt I'll think it's stupid. Eagles can't fly.
Yeah, I told you you weren't gonna like it.
I didn't say that. Quite the opposite, in fact. I actually do like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am being honest. I genuinely liked how it got its message across without being overly dramatic. Pretty straight to the point, and the ending there where it subverts your expectations of rhyming, it's clever. Natsuki genuinely seems both embarrassed and shocked, but mostly the former.
to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously.
Ah, I see. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like you pointed out, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it a fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
It was a good idea.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. Phew. To say that was stressful would be an understatement. Despite knowing how things would play out, my anxiety reared its ugly head with a vengeance. It is ugly head, which just made me more nervous trying to hide it. On top of that, actually writing a poem ended up being a bit more challenging than I had anticipated. Still, I'm just glad that it's over with. I sigh with relief and go back to my desk, ready to plunk down and allow myself time to breathe. Unfortunately, it would seem her fate had other plans. While Monica and Sayori were happily chatting in a corner, my eyes moved over to Yuri and Natsuki. It was like watching someone run a red light into oncoming traffic. You knew the crash was coming, but you can't look away. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, meanwhile Yuri smiles sadly.
Did you say something? Oh, sorry, I liked it.
Natsuki hands Yuri's poem back to her.
I don't know why, but I feel like I've read this before, though.
Monica and I both look at each other simultaneously. And judging by her reaction, she had not only stopped to listen to their conversation at the same time I did, but was also taken aback by the deviation in script. For her and I, that would be understandable unless...
Oh, I don't see how. I only just wrote this last night. Never mind, you're right. So, you liked it? I mean, it's not exactly my style, but it's alright. What about mine? Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something?
Oh boy, here we go. Damn, I thought maybe we'd be lucky to avoid this.
It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Guys.
Yeah? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Come on now, there.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
I get that they're too absorbed into the argument and feelings are running high, but I am starting to feel mine do the same as they ignore me. I'd really rather they didn't fight. I want to keep the peace if not anything else.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Hallie did too.
Okay, but I also like...
So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all... Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Hallie liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Yes, but... Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
At this point, I'm starting to feel pretty incensed that I'm being ignored. I already know where this is going, and I don't want it to happen again. But this damn script seems like it's hell-bent on carrying out its march towards a feud. It is march towards...
That's not what I... You're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Hallie appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh! Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Hallie started showing up. Natsuki. Oh, Natsuki, that's low. This doesn't involve you. I don't like playing, guys.
Seeing Sayori's hurt expression was just a little more than I could bear. That's the wrong sense of bear. I need to step in and I need to get their attention.